Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys suffered a horrific loss this past Sunday night on Sunday Night Football in prime time to the San Francisco 49ers. Their arch rival, I guess you want to say. 42-10 was the final score of the game. Just absolutely dog walked. The 49ers did, the Cowboys. And there's been a lot of discussion coming up to today. So it's only fair that we discuss. And I'm going to throw it to you, Q, first. Is this Dak Prescott's final year as a Dallas Cowboy?
It could be. And it's something to do with his play or like his level of, his status as, his rank as a quarterback, but a lot to do with the contract. He's due for an extension. Since they franchise tagged him already, he can't get franchised again. So that means this year, you either extend them and try and lessen that cap hit, or next year you take that $60 million cap hit. 9 times out of 10, you won't win the Super Bowl again, and you got to restart again with a quarterback, especially right now when this is a good quarterback class coming in. But you also don't want to let Dak Prescott walk out of here in 2 years he'd be what, 31, 32-year-old fringe top 10 quarterback, just, hitting the market. It's like the same thing with Kirk Cousins. It's going to happen to him this year. Just a prime quarterback. Like, these quarterbacks played to like 40, 41, 42. So you still got 10 more years left of, top 10-ish quarterback play. And he could walk to any team that's like basically a quarterback away. We've seen like, what if Baker Mayfield's balling on the Buccaneers right now? You swap Baker Mayfield out for Dak Prescott, it probably looks a lot better. You're allowing him to basically walk to any team, get a good number, and that team probably is like ready to go, try to go win something, probably in your own conference. But the whole reset, get a quarterback on a rookie deal, build a team around him, it's too enticing right now. Like it's up in the air. Like, but you don't know if that rookie quarterback is going to be that good. You might have to take your lumps, and you'll still get the same ridicule that you've been getting for the past 25 years. So do you want to stay like not relevant because they're more than relevant? They're a second round team at least, or that's better than being the Steelers or the Vikings that are 8-8, 8-9, whatever it is now to be mid, like not bad enough to get a good draft pick, but not good enough to make no real noise. They're a step ahead of that. Do you want to stay there? Or do you really want to have a chance to like compete? If they're just like they're stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, listen, I completely. I don't think it's going to be Dak's last year. I think Dak is going to stick around as a Dallas Cowboy, and I think the main reason for that is like who you get and that's better currently right
That'd
now.
be my argument.
Exactly, like
That who else is there?
like you want Kirk Cousins. I mean, they're basically similar. You're basically just kind of you're not going trading like Dak's down here and Kirk's up here, and you're trading that. No, you're kind of just flip
Their
flopping.
career, I think their career stats are like identical,
Almost identical. Yeah, they're very similar quarterbacks. Like I would take Dak slightly over Kirk, but we're splitting hairs there, to be honest with you. So you got that, right? You also got this kid looming that they traded, I think it was a 4th round or 5th round pick for.
Yeah, Trey.
Former 3rd overall pick, Mr. Trey Lance. There's people pounding the desk for Trey Lance to take over. I think that is going to end abysmal if you start Trey Lance. I think, listen, is there a reason why Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan put these two football genius minds together and we're like, we like this kid Trey Lance. Only seeing a year of real tape in college, but we like this kid Trey Lance. And they took him 3rd overall. They traded the house for him. Then they saw after I think it was 2 years with them, 2.5 years, they saw stuff. And nobody's going to know Trey Lance better than those two guys, the Shanahans, because they see him every single day. So they obviously saw things and they were like, you're not the guy that we thought you were going to be. Also, obviously, there was this elephant in the room, Mr. Brock Purdy, who's balling out of his mind and playing, high-level football. So they were like, this is an easy switch off right here. It's not going to end well if the Dallas Cowboys go with Trey Lance. I'll just say that flat out. It's not going to end well. That's not going to be the move to make. They have a potential out at the end of this year in Dak's contract. They'll eat $61 million, basically $62 million in dead cap, right? But they'll save they'll save a good amount of money because they won't have 3 more years, I guess, on the contract. But like you said, I think an extension is coming. I think they'll probably negotiate, push the money down the line, and that'll work out. But I do want to say this. Dak is a quarterback that can be a part of a Super Bowl run. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, yes, do you need a team around him to help elevate him as well? 100%. He is not a Burrow. He's not a Brady. He's not a Mahomes. He's not one of those guys, right? Rodgers. He's a Tony Romo. He's Matt Ryan was better than him, but, a little bit lower than Matt Ryan. He's better than Joe Flacco, kind of. Joe Flacco showed up in the playoffs a lot more, especially that one run. But he's like in that conversation. So you need, obviously, a great defense around him and good offensive players around him. But, and one more point, and then I'll throw it off to you, and you can respond to anything that you want to respond to here. I just, whoever said Dak was great, like you kind of alluded to it, but before the show when we were talking, Q. Whoever said Dak Prescott was great? Like, whoever put Dak in that top 5 category? Because you got people talking like Dak Prescott's got to do the, right? He's getting the money. He's getting paid that. Listen, him and his agent, like Skip Bayless said, we were talking a little bit that before the show. Skip Bayless said, Dak and his agent took Jerry to the cleaners and the bank in that contract negotiations. All right. And he's getting paid like that, and he's got to perform. We also got to realize this guy broke his freaking leg in half and had a terrible injury. Then last year, broke one of his fingers on his throwing hand and came back. He's had some down play, but I'm going to get to the real reason behind all this. But Q, what do you got? Anything you'd like to respond to that I said right there?
Exactly. Who said he's great? Like, nobody said that. Outside of the top, I'm gonna say top 8 quarterbacks in the league. Those are the quarterbacks that can, like, rise above certain situations. Mm-hmm. Everybody after that, you need the perfect situation around them, so that way they're just plug and play. Like the 49ers. The 49ers are a plug and play team.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a people think like I'm a Brock Purdy. I'm not a Brock Purdy hater. It's just whatever deficiencies we saw from Jimmy G, we understood that. But the stats didn't say that, especially last year. Mm-hmm. 10 games from Jimmy G and the 10 games from Brock Purdy, almost identical stats. Because it's not hard to put – you could put probably any top quarterback in the top 20, and they probably perform the same, because it's hard to fail in that system, on that team, on that roster.
Yeah.
That's just what you have to do. Kirk Cousins could come in there and do the same thing. He's done it before with the same system, same coach. Dak Prescott, you put him on the 49ers, those mistakes probably are less. And Dak Prescott's not even a big mistake guy. He's a top 10, like, lowest interception rate of all time. Like, he's up there. Like, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. It just gets highlighted because he's on the Cowboys.
Yes.
And then, playoff moments. But those playoff moments came from the 49ers. Most quarterbacks, you need the system around them. Matt Ryan wasn't no world beater. Mm-hmm. Like, he had the perfect system, perfect coach. Again, same coach. Yeah. And got there. I just think, like, when you ball out, like Dak Prescott, for the 4 years before he got the deal, he went 13-3 rookie year, went head to head with Aaron Rodgers, basically damn near won the game if it wasn't for a Hail Mary by Jordy, I think, on the sideline to set up a field goal for the win.
Oh no, Jared Cook Jr.
See, look,
that was a fucking insane throw too. Yep.
I watched. That was like one of the, like, probably best playoff games I've seen from him, and that was his rookie year.
Yep.
Next year it wasn't so good, but the weapons was bad. It was Dez on his last leg. You got Jason Witten on his last legs.
Yeah.
Bad year. The very next year, they started off bad. Then they got Amari Cooper. They won 10 games straight. Won a playoff game. And then the next year after that, he went – what he did? 4,900 yards. He was second in the league in yards that year.
Yep.
30 touchdowns, 11 picks. You got to pay him.
That was a phenomenal year.
You got to pay him.
You got to pay him.
The situation was great, but he balled out.
Yeah.
That's just what happens. You get paid that money.
Mm-hmm. So here's the real crux of the situation, right? Because everybody's talking Dak. Dak's got to go. Dak's this, Dak that, right? But